Professor is back for another decor session, so I hope you have your pens ready to jot down a few do's and don'ts. Good morning.
Good morning,
darling. How you doing?
How are you? I'm
Your
great.
earrings nice, your chin nice. Your...
everything.
Yeah,
you just sorted.
I don't know.
Yes,
Anywho,
yes.
where are we going this morning, Teach?
You know what? We need to do, you know, every time, we're midterm. We're past midterm.
Oh,
and we're doing a little refresher. Yeah, we're just doing a little refresher. We're not necessarily doing a test, but we're doing a little refresher.
Okay.
You know, when you look at our set now, our sets have been very bold this season, right? It's a play on color, accessories, artwork, right? But therefore, there is a plan that you need to follow. You know, when you walk into your home, the first thing that you should look at is a focal point. If you don't have a focal point, then what happens is your eye just goes around the room and tries to, and it lands somewhere, but it's not interesting. So for anything else, find something a corner, something very interesting that you can really amp up, and that will be your focal point.
Okay, and
right?
your focal point is comprised of, it could be a dresser with a bold, colorful piece on it?
Right. What you're doing is you're creating the conversation or the personality around that space.
I see.
So when you look at it, it is connected to the room, but it's amped up. It has a different vibe going on. So it could be the paint color. It could be this beautiful dramatic mirror.
I love
Could be, exactly.
Is this Fontana?
It is Fontana. And yes. And speaking of Fontana, we have a question for you this morning. And that question is, when was the first Fontana what's the word?
Store location?
Where was it located, and when did it come about? When and
what
where?
What we get for that?
When? $5,000? $5,000? Yes, a $5,000 gift certificate. And you are going to text the answer to 421-6298. When and where?
Okay. Gotcha.
And that's Fontana.
So
right?
we have the focal point when we get into the room. What are some of the other things that we need to consider when we're putting our rooms together?
So it's a plan. You know me and my plans on it. So it's a formula. Architectural features and your walls. So you're going to consider your walls first, right? What's happening with it? Do you need moldings? Do you need to cover up some things? Are there some flaws in the walls that you need like some serious attention? How do we cover that up? You know, so sometimes, you know, Penta paints is wonderful because they have the primer in, okay, but sometimes you do have to go a little step further and you have to address those walls. You might have to skim coat, you might have to smooth out, you might have to do something to the walls. It's like underpinnings. Okay. And then, right, then you go to your flooring. What's happening with your floor? What kind of flooring are you going to use? Is it going to be carpeting? Is it going to be tiles? And if tiles, is it porcelain? Is it ceramic? Is it hardwood floors? And then we have the best of all worlds now, which are the hardwood. It looks like hardwood, but they're porcelain planks that look like wood.
And even these new carpet tiles that I see.
And the carpet tiles. Wow. So, you know, and then, you know, Google is your friend. Google is your best friend. Why? Because you can research your options. Yeah. You know?
Pinterest is your friend. Pinterest. Because so many ideas there.
And it's a pin. It's a notebook. Yeah. It is the biggest notebook you can ever find, right?
Awesome.
Then now you consider your palette. What colors are you going to use to color your space? Remember now, you have to have flow and you have to have cohesiveness, you know, so you're going to build your harmony and your rhythm. What's harmony and rhythm? How the color flows through the space. Rhythm is a repeating pattern. So if you see here this morning, we have the red walls, then we have the black and white, you know, the top vertical.
Yes, the accent.
And then, right, and the black and white at the bottom. Nice. One's vertical, one's horizontal. But what we've done now is to introduce these panels, pair it with these panels, which are a chevron print. So it's a lot of play on pattern. So it works. It just absolutely works.
How you know what can work and what is just going to be too much noise?
Too much noise. Okay. You see the black and white here?
Yeah.
Very, very strong. Yeah. It's very bold. It's in your face. Also the red. The gray and white chevron is a tone, so we've toned it down. If we did now the same black and white here, then it would be too strong and everything would be fighting, right? So you play on the tones. When you go to color, remember now, there are intensities of color. You have that color strip, and then you have the less values going up. Right. So you go from lighter to darker. Once you stay within that range and you play within that, then you're fine.
And as far as bold colors go, is it advisable to put the entire room in a bold color or just use the bold color for the accent?
Use the bold color for the accent, because the accent should be one of the cast members then in your, you hear Daily, I'm still looking at work, in the play, yes. In the play of your whole space, right? So you have to have the main and then in the supporting cast.
Okay.
That is why the other walls need to be recessive. Okay, and then you
Gotcha.
have dominant.
Okay.
Then now we remember when you go to the stores, you have to measure. You have to measure your space. You have to measure your furnishings. Please, if you don't do that, then you're going to come home, and when you get home, it is not going to fit.
Oh, it's going to be
right?
cluttered.
And it's going to be cluttered. It's really going to be, and the furniture might not be in scale. You know,
Right.
and then you don't want things that are out of scale,
Okay.
because then it is a problem.
Let's talk
right?
about the different elements for the room now. This is something you always talk about.
Always
Metal.
talk about.
I see you have some elements here.
Metal.
And I see you anchoring it with the
And
white,
we're
like you told us
anchoring it
last
with
week.
the white, because
Yeah.
the white makes things pop, and it's also very trendy, right? So you have your metal, you have your glass, you have your mirror too. Glass and mirror, two different things. Why? Because glass is glass, mirror is mirror, and they're reflective. So they open up the space, give you some sparkle and give you some zhuzh, and then, you know, you have some personality going.
Those chairs I love.
These chairs are absolutely fantastic.
This is
Why?
glass.
And this is, no, it's
Plexi.
fiberglass.
Right,
Fiberglass.
okay.
What happens is there's no visual weight. Remember, we always
Exactly.
talk about
Yeah,
visual
yeah,
weight?
yeah.
So what happens when you use that? It is the perfect balance between form and function, because it looks great. People, if you are building a room, in my world, we say build a room. If you're building a room, you're putting your room space together, and it does not function for you, then it's artwork. You know what I'm saying? And you'll be miserable. So you'll
You
be
want a room where you
miserable.
can-
You want exactly that you can relax in, that
Yeah.
is good for you. So you have to now consider your lifestyle, right? And then you go forward. Also consider your budget.
Yeah, I think you don't want to start there first.
You have to really
before the
start there.
lifestyle.
Consider your husband,
yeah.
if he, and you need his buy-in. You know, when you're doing a really extensive,
Not if it's your
project.
room.
If
Some of
it's
them
your
have their own rooms.
if
We
you
can have our own
You
rooms.
can have your own room, but if you're doing a home, which requires a budget
Correct.
and bill of items and all of those things, then you really need a budget.
Okay.
Right?
Okay.
Okay. So these are the things that you must consider. Your accessories are very, very key, because that tells the story of the space, right? So when you go to some place like First Heritage, you know, you really want to live your best life now and so on. These are the things that I can do, right?
Did you bring a DIY?
I brought a DIY that is going to blow your mind. You remember last week the tire?
Yes, that
This
was
one is a
awesome.
balloon.
But it's not going to pop on you.
It is not going to pop. You see those over there? You see the light
Those
fixtures?
are balloons?
Those are what we did. Can I just tell you, please focus, let people see. It is the most
are balloons?
awesome thing. This is what we started with. You use balloon, okay? So here we go. We're going to make a light fixture using a balloon, and this is it. So you blow up, and you have to use a very good quality, like a helium quality balloon. So you blow it up. I'm not gonna blow it up because my lipstick. Okay, then you have to get glue, okay?
Mercy.
And
And what kind of balloon this makes it need a pump?
It's all right. Shelly, and glue them up. And twine. Twine, jute twine. So what you'll do, and disposable brushes. Here you go. So you blow up the balloon, okay? And you just start to wrap. And you wrap,
So
and
you
you
get the
wrap,
lights in
and
there,
you wrap,
miss?
and you wrap. Hold on. And you wrap, and you wrap, and you just keep wrapping. And you keep wrapping, and you keep wrapping,
And
you
then
keep
what, Boca?
going.
We have to wrap.
So while you wrap, you really and truly, while you wrap, then you put your glue on, okay? After you put your glue on, you let it dry for 24 hours.
Yeah.
The next day, you pop the balloon,
No way.
and it forms the mold.
That's so
Then you
untruth.
get one of those, the outlets, you know those outlets, that we call them
Yeah,
lollipops,
and you put
right?
it in-
And you put it through, and that's that. Voila.
This is
I'm telling
awesome.
you, this is awesome. This
I'm
is
gonna
awesome.
try this.
This is the kind of DIY that you do in Easter break. Yeah.
We'll have to
And it's
go.
just, remember now, our Mother's Day, when is it? Friday is our last day. Friday is the deadline. Friday is the deadline. Please send your
Come, Boca,
letters
let's go back
into
around.
marketing.kbdg@gmail.com. Please, we're
Penta
looking
paint?
for some
Penta
Penta
paint,
paint.
come have to
We
go.
have a question for Penta, don't we?
Do we? Can we bring it up?
We bring it up? Okay. Well, live your best lives now, remember.
I'm sure it will come.
First Heritage.
Okay.
Okay. All right. Well, look for us. Look for the Penta Paint question on our Facebook page,
Okay.
and it's DeZign Diva.
There
There we
you
go. Right. Name one of the Penta Paints designer colors on the color chart. 4216298 is the number to text.
2 gallons.
All right. 2 gallons of Penta Paints, and it's
right.
really, really fabulous and great paint.
Thanks for the refresher, Teach.
Yeah, not a
Appreciate
problem.
it. The director of the
Yes.
Karen Booker Design Group, Karen Booker.